I'm back.
What's going on with this younger generation? I'll go grab food, walk in the store, deal with customer service, and so often the people helping me look absolutely miserable, like they don't even want to be there. They don't even want to talk to you. Everything feels like an inconvenience. Am I the only one that's seeing this? And what's interesting is I constantly hear online, especially from younger people, how hard it is to find a job. Nobody's hiring. They won't give us a chance. Okay, well, if jobs are really that hard to get and somebody finally gives you one, they're giving you an opportunity, wouldn't you be a little bit grateful for that job? Wouldn't that show in how you treat people? When I worked at Staples through college, I wasn't making a ton of money, but I was happy to be there because I knew I was learning how to work, how to deal with people, how to talk with people, how to show up on time, and how to build skills. And look, obviously, this isn't every single young person. That'd be absolutely silly to say. But it does feel like there's this trend or this growing attitude of, I deserve more before proving you can actually do more. So, what happened? I mean, why does it seem like so many young people are unhappy with an opportunity they are saying is impossible to get?
So if you actually look in his comments, all of the young people that respond to him, and I'm gonna put a link down in the description to him, all of the young people that respond to him actually confirms what he's saying because they say stuff like, well, I'm not making a livable wage, or nobody wants to bust their backs for $17 an hour, $18 an hour. They need to pay us more money and then we'll be more enthusiastic about doing it. They actually confirm what he's saying. He said that when he was in college, he wasn't making a ton of money, but he was happy to be there. And so he had a different perspective or a different outlook. And so he was excited to do the job. Hindsight is 2020. And what I realize is that a lot of young people are not going to respond in the way that we think that they are. Sometimes we think that when we give insight or information or we're motivational, a lot of times that they're going to listen to it and they're going to say, you know what, I do need to get my attitude together, or I do need to have a different perspective. They aren't. They aren't. The ones that are enthusiastic about having a job, they're going to be that way. The ones that are lazy, which is, I think, the majority of them, they're going to be that way. And so we have to adapt to running into them, right? And I will say that it's probably mixed for me. If I go to the local Dairy Queen and the girls that work behind the counter or whatever, they usually pretty cool and enthusiastic, and so I tip them. Right? You don't have to tip at a Dairy Queen, but I tip them. And then you got the regular person that may work at a store or something like that, or whatever, or at the restaurant, and they may not be as enthusiastic, and I don't really care about it, and so I just ignore them, and I don't even really pay that much attention to them.
Who's ready to see our new product?
So my thoughts on that. Gen Z, huh? Bro. One thing I understand is Gen Z, bro, is like it's like bro, the way life is right now, it's like they've got it. I don't even know what generation am I. Am I Gen? I wouldn't be Gen Z, surely. Hopefully not. But they got the most resources now compared to the people in the past. They got the most resources to make money or to learn, you know. They got the internet, bunch of courses on everything you can ever look for on the internet. But then at the same time, you also got an economy that's crazy, man. It's like it's crazy. It's almost like someone came and was like, "Hey, here's the key, right? Here's a key to a house that's yours. But the house is I don't know. I don't know. It's up there in the sky or something. You gotta find a way to get up there. same way. I'm just trying to say, basically, they got. I'm losing my words, man. They got an infinity amount of ways to make money now. But at the same time, you got the economy, bro. It's like, I'm on a leg just to get a decent house. You feel me? And from what I've seen around internet, read in the comments, conversation had, is that majority of just Gen Z have settled for just some don't even want to buy houses, don't even want to think about it. Like, man, what? I'd rather spend my money and travel and leave the world, instead of literally working my ass off for years to just get a deposit for a house. And now on top of that, I gotta pay off this mortgage. So majority of them I'm not gonna say majority of them. I'd say about maybe 50, percent have this big mentality of, hey man, the old ways is old now, ain't gonna work. Their parents, they come from an era where there's still one person could basically take care of the whole family off one income. Nowadays you need two families, two partners working, and even then it's just getting by for some. So I feel like they just feel burnt out, bro. Imagine coming out of school and they're telling you, hey man, it's looking bad out here. It's really looking bad. That's why you see a lot of, and the internet doesn't really help. You see, up on the internet, you be seeing all these 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 23-year-old bowling on the internet. False realities. Some are faking it. Some got lucky, right? And I don't know, this is credit, their work, but some got lucky, what's the word? Preparation, luck, cause a winner, you feel me? So some of these guys put in work and they got lucky, boom. They make crazy money at a young age, But then on the internet, he has millions of audience, all these people thinking, damn, I could be that guy. If you can do it, I can do it, So by the 2021, these guys are starting to feel burnt out. Like, damn, that guy was bowling at 18, I'm 21 and I feel like I ain't done that. When reality, bro, it takes time, bro. It takes time. Yes, and there is some lazy in Gen Z as well. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know how people do this work thing from young age to when they retire, bro. I know it's different for everyone, but this 9 to 5 things ain't for everybody. And I feel like Gen Z are starting to realize how scammy life is, really. But if you really sit down and actually think, like, how much of your time, I don't know how old you are watching this, but I don't know if you're in school or if you've worked a bit, or because if you really calculate how much of your, if you finish high school or college and you've been working, if you really calculate how much of your life has gone to work, how much of your life, as in how much of your time work has taken from you, you realize, man, damn, you spend majority of time away from home. So your home could live in a house. So your home could have resources, but it's low key. It's low key a prison, not even low key. It's high key prison, and I feel like Gen Z is realizing, bro, I don't want to work my whole life, just to get by. I want to enjoy my life, The old ways, man, I don't know. The future, the way it's going, bro, I feel like things finna flip crazy. Cause, bro, even I've thought about it. Like, man, I don't want to work my whole life, man. What? I don't want to work my whole life. I don't want to retire in my late life. Who am I working for, bro? The world is free. You know? But somehow the condition that make people think, yeah, it's normal. You work 8 hours a day for 5 days, some even more. And that's life. You only get, what, 2 days a week to reset. And they got 5 days away from family. You only see family, what? Probably about, most people, they get back from work are like, what, 3? Yeah, 3. Probably get home around like 4, depending on how far you work from home. And then, well, you only see your family from like 4 to maybe some people sleep at 9. Right? So you only got like what? 5 hours, roughly 6, 4, depending. You see your family. And then if it's a Monday, you're already preparing the next day. So by 9, 10, most people are going to sleep. And then it's a circle. Then you realize, damn, is this really life, man? You only get to enjoy your life that little 5 hours or 4 hours of work. And that's if you're not tired. It's like work is so, I don't know, man. Like the way they've made it, for most people to not even question, like, this is not life, bro. It's crazy, man. It's not life at all. And I definitely disagree with it. But at the same time, what can you do, man? If you want to leave this behind, you gotta either start a business or, and I can tell you starting a business definitely hard to start off. It's harder than actually working a 9 to 5. For someone who kind of has business, bro, it's hard than working a 9 to 5. It's hard. Of course, it gets better later, but you do more work, especially in the beginning. And that's why most people never leave the whatever you call 9 to 5, because they'll get in that, do it for a little bit, nah. And especially most people that are starting their business, they still working a 9 to 5. They only do their business after work. You feel me? And just think about it: the energy, the discipline you need to pull that off. It takes time. It takes a lot. And some people already got families, so it's like that little time that you're supposed to spend with family, you ain't got it no more because you gotta focus on this business. I'm talking mainly on people with families, but there's people that are single out here and all that. But yeah, that's why only a few make it. It's like you really gotta not want 9 to 5, bro. You really gotta just put your foot down. Put your foot down, get a job, work there even though you don't like it, raise some cash, start your business on the side while you work, while you're also probably paying rent, doing what, bro. It's like you really gotta despise 9 to 5. You really gotta despise your job to really make it in business or something, because you need to be consistent. Unless you're one of those lucky people, just, boom, one thing just takes off. Cool. And I feel like that's the issue, because you got all these one-hit wonders, on the internet. Started a business, got lucky, boom, business left, went all the way to the top. And now everyone start watching this person thinking, oh, that's the normal. No, it's not, bro. It's not. Bro. Becoming rich is not even just becoming financially free. Why you don't have to work. It's like you either gotta win the lottery or start a business or start some kind of. That's why you see a lot of Gen Z online creating content. Me, I'm creating content, of course, as well. It's something I just want to enjoy, interact with people, spread my opinions, my views. We talk on things. I've always wanted to start YouTube since 2015, bro. I am glad I never started because I don't know what the heck I would have put on here. But I've always known I wanted to do like reactions or like this, but this is like way back then. Like this is I was still in school, man. My English was still kind of still fresh. I still think it's still fresh. You know what I'm saying? But I can have a conversation now. You feel me? But besides that, I definitely get Gen Z. It's like they have no motivation, bro. Imagine before you finish school, they're telling you like, "Hey, man, it's looking crazy outside. It ain't how it used to be. You guys gonna have to work 100 times harder just to get the basic stuff that people used to get. Mainly house. Mainly even cars are expensive now for most people. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, what's life? You need God in your life, but otherwise you'll be lost in this world. You'll be like, what the heck is the point of this? So basically, I call it new modern day slavery. Basically, it's done so sweet that you don't even question it. And if you don't question, you look at your life 20 years. Hey man, what the heck have I done with my life? Just working. And yeah, like I feel like the way they're acting at these jobs, paying them little pennies. Hey man, sometimes you don't even feel motivated to go to work. You don't even feel motivated to do the work properly because like, man, I'm not getting paid enough for this. I'm not condoning what they should be saying, and these guys are saying, oh, that was a different time. They was happy to be, but we live in 2026. I'm not trying to say what they're doing is right. They should definitely put in work. Definitely, if you really despise something, man, you only got one life. Go out there, find a way to get out of that situation. If you don't know work a 9 to 5, find a way to get out. And find a way, trust me, it ain't gonna come easy. It's probably gonna be harder than working a 9 to 5. Mentally, physically, maybe. But mainly mentally. You need to be strong, disciplined. That's why only a few or a small percentage is rich. Majority of people cannot. You really have, like I'm saying, you gotta want it bad, bro. You only got one life. And if you're a Gen Z watching this, bro, you only got one life, man. It's like, it's not the end of the world. I know this pressure of like, oh, you need to work. If you don't work, you're gonna be kicked out because you ain't gonna be able to pay rent, blah, blah, blah. Man, if you're still young and you're fortunate enough to have a family, like your parents and all that, hey man, move back home, work hard, save, work on something on the side that can take you out of that situation. Because that's another thing. People get it wrong thinking, oh, I'm in it now, I can't get out. Man, that fear of, what's the word, scarcity? I feel like that's what the government kind of thrives on, Everyone's scared to lose their job because if they lose their job, well, the family might lose their house or blah, blah, blah. If you're single, it's a bit easier. You ain't got too much to worry like that. You can live with the boys, make the rent a bit cheaper and all that. But that's just short term. Shouldn't feel comfortable with that. So I don't know, man. I understand both sides, but the way if you really don't have an end game and like an end goal, you should work hard, bro. Just work hard. Just work hard and find an end goal. You can't just be going to work. Because I feel like the ones that are demotivated is people that with no plans. If someone has a plan, they know, okay, right now I'm executing. For example, me, I had to get into like trades. I went into plumbing first because I was like, let me get a certificate for something in case, this business stuff, take long or whatever, I'm always gonna be I'm always gonna have a skill to always go fall back on and stuff like that. They got Gen Z, man, they just want handouts. Hey man, put in the work, bro. No one says it's gonna be easy. But now it's like you got resources and now you also got the hardship, it's like you gotta pick one, you're either gonna stick in this, getting paid less money, working like dogs, or you can make it even harder for yourself temporarily, go crazy with business or whatever you're trying to, if it's content, if it's art, if whatever it is, go hard. But just know it's not gonna be easy, You get easy eventually and probably make your life mad better. You get to live your life on your own terms and all that type of stuff. But that stuff at the start doesn't come easy. I'm not gonna lie. I've been seeing Gen Z's. It's like, bro, no motivation. There's so much crime from young people nowadays. Crime because they feel like they it's like they're stuck. And they're just starting to resort to bad. You know what I'm saying? Speaking from Australia, because, Australia right now looking to be mad. You know what I mean? But these crimes and that. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Because me, I think, of course, it shouldn't just be out here not doing anything. Being rude to people, not doing your jobs properly and all that. Because, like I said, it's hard in some parts of the world to get jobs. I don't know if it's worldwide. And they finally get it. It's like, then you work. Feel like you're killing yourself for nothing. Living demand is going like high, but these wages are not. And you expect these people who just left school to figure that out? Man. May God help us. But you guys let me know what you think, because I don't know. These guys are just passionate, but you gotta remember, these guys were in a different time, time. Gen Z, it's a whole, it's 2027. Back then, like, physical work will get you good. You can take care of your family and all that. But now, you're really getting by, bro. You need a partner to just get by in some places. It's sad. But yeah, Gen Z, I feel like they're also lazy, crazy too. They're too lazy as well. But if anyone watching this, man, and you're in the same boat, you don't know, hey man, just stick your head down. If you're not sure what you want, at least research some kind of career that you're able to do. Get some kind of qualification in that. You don't have to do it forever. Just get some kind of qualification that it's gonna be, in case in the future things don't work out, you can always have some, have something to fall back on, and yeah, once you get that qualification, hey, you're free to try anything else, life is full of ups and downs, full of challenges, bro. Just because you pass one challenge don't mean another one, that's it. There's always more. They're gonna be good challenges, they're gonna be sad times, they're gonna be good times. It's a journey, bruv. If you're not dwell in sadness and all that, hey man, more sadness will come your way. Me, I try to be positive in life, try to look at all angles, how things gonna be. I know today I might be happy, but I'm also not naive enough to be like, oh yeah, that's it. That means no more sadness. Nah. That could be anything in this world. Sadness will still be coming. Good times will still come. It's a journey. That's part of life. That's what that's memories coming. I don't even know how I'm getting into it, but you get the vibes. You guys let me know what you think about this. this topic they're talking about. You know. But yeah, Gen Z be lazy though. Gen Z be on some lazy moves, bro. But I know I'm see you on the next. I don't even know where I was going with all that. If I say some advice in there, hey, take it or leave it, feel me? But Gen Z is lazy. But then at the same time, it's like I understand. You shouldn't be lazy, but I understand the struggle. I know I'm talking as if I'm old as hell. I'm not that old. I ain't old at all. Just my mind is old. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna see you in the next dog.